will be joining us momentarily. I believe Councilman Shanklin may also have an excused absence. Next, Councilwoman Chapel, I believe you have a special guest this evening.
Yes, I do. Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to Annie Lockett. Annie, come up and stand right on my desk so everyone can see your beautiful face. Earlier I made the joke that this is my mini legislative aide, and that's quite literal because she is the daughter of my legislative aide, Annie Lockett. So Annie is a 6-year-old. She is a first grader at Lincoln Elementary, and she loves riding her bike, dancing, and doing cross country. She also loves spending time with her 2 dogs, and since council work is in her blood, put her to work, everyone, and make sure that you're engaging with her tonight as she's our page. And I just want to say thank you so much, Annie, for being here. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please let the record reflect that Councilwoman President Pro Tem McCraney will take the chair. Thank you. Colleagues, since 2017, the Louisville Metro Council has had the privilege to host the University of Louisville's interns each fall. This year, we had 10 young minds for council members to mold. I believe each of your council members has prepared a proclamation to recognize and thank you for your public service. Tonight, I also have a proclamation that I would like to give to your professor, Dr. David Ambrosio, thanking all of you. Before I read that, I would like to call each of your names so that we can remember each of you served with us this year before seeing the great things you're going to do in the city and beyond. Please raise your hand when your name is called. Calvin Leach, Sawyer Depp, Javon Rankin, Natasha Martinez, Jay Wheeler, Brooke Gallagher, Kyle Bolton, Sierra Chase, Kelsey Raymer, and Katie Fisher. So thank you all so much. I'm going to read one of the proclamations. They're all the same, but I'll just read one of them, and then we've got them for you. To all whom these letters shall come, greetings. Know ye that the Louisville Metro Council hereby recognizes the Louisville Metro Council interns of 2023 in honor of their public service. Whereas they are all members of the 7th Louisville Metro Council internship program through the University of Louisville, and whereas they have served the good people of Louisville Metro under the tutelage of our various council metro offices, and whereas we are certain we can expect great things from them and wish them success in all of their future endeavors. These privileges and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, in testimony whereof we have caused these letters to be made, and hereby confer this honor with all the rights and the official seal of the Louisville Metro government to be hereunto affixed, done in the Commonwealth of Kentucky on the 30th day of November, 2023, marked with our Metro Council president. Thank you all so much. Would you like to come say a few words about the program and this fine group of students?
Well, thank you. President Winkler, I just want to thank everyone who has been mentoring an intern this year, recent years. Every intern I've had has had a wonderful experience over the last 3 years I've been running the program, and I will be in touch next spring, hopefully with lots of interest from some of you, especially some of you who haven't taken an intern yet, to answer any questions and see if you would be interested in taking someone for next fall. Thank you so much.
I'd like to invite you all to the line and take a picture. Hopefully we'll love to have everybody from the council down there.
All right, everybody look up here. 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna take a couple. Sorry, one more.
Madam Clerk, please call the record to reflect that I have relinquished the chair badge to President Winkler.
Councilwoman Chapel, I believe you have a second special guest this evening.
Years ago in America. It's the height of the Gilded Age. Ulysses S. Grant is the President of the United States, and a little red-headed horse named Aristides won the first Kentucky Derby. Since that first Derby in 1874, the Kentucky Derby has become not only a sporting spectacle, but it's also a cultural phenomenon. December 6th marks the 150 days from the 150th Kentucky Derby. And the Kentucky Derby Museum is having a day-long celebration to mark the occasion. This is not only a celebration of the historic horse race or the institution that is Churchill Downs, but it's a celebration of the neighborhoods that have been shaped by the track and the wonderful residents who reside in those communities. For many, the Kentucky Derby is a race that happens one day in May, but for many Louisvillians, it's a spirit that is enshrined 365 days. So I've invited some friends here today from the Kentucky Derby Museum, and I would like to invite them to tell you about the fantastic things that they have planned for the December 6th celebration. But before I do, I would like to issue a proclamation that honors their momentous celebration. I would like to invite Lieutenant Helmer and friends with the Kentucky Derby Museum up to accept this proclamation, after which I'll turn over the mic to them to tell you more about the event. Whereas to all whom these letters shall come, the Kentucky Derby Museum's community celebration, Race to 150, celebrating our Derby legacy. Whereas the Kentucky Derby holds a cherished place in Louisville's culture, and the Kentucky Derby Museum has preserved its history globally, and the museum, a nonprofit dedicated to educating and engaging and exciting everyone about the Derby, has served as a focal point for the community to connect with the iconic event. And whereas the museum will mark the 150-day countdown to the historic 150th Kentucky Derby with Race to 150 on December 6, 2023, a free community event fostering unity and inclusion, and whereas the Race to 150 offers engaging activities and programs that share the Derby magic, and now may it be proclaimed that we commend the Kentucky Derby Museum for celebrating our Derby legacy and building anticipation for Derby 150.
Well, thank you very much for this honor. I'm Patrick Armstrong, President and CEO of the Kentucky Derby Museum. The museum is a nonprofit organization, and it's our mission to engage, educate, and excite everyone about the extraordinary event that is the Kentucky Derby. We're open 360 days a year, and we are coming off our best year ever in 2023 with over 251,000 visitors to the museum. We are so excited to offer this free event coming up next Wednesday, December 6th. Our entire team has been working tirelessly to make this a true Derby celebration that welcomes the whole community, so this proclamation is a result of their hard work and passion. Thank you to Councilwoman Chapel and to all of our council members for supporting the museum. We hope to see everyone next week at the Derby Museum to celebrate the Race to 150 and Kentucky Derby 150 coming up in May.
to share what we're doing. Thank you again. It's fun coming back to this month. We're incredibly excited for December 6th. This, like Pat said, is a day to celebrate Louisville. The Derby Museum is the keeper of Derby history, and we wouldn't have any of that if it wasn't for the incredible community. So we're uplifting their stories, and we really want to be able to celebrate everyone. So we're encouraging you to come to the museum, free admission all day long, and we have a time capsule. It's really important to us. We're going to put it in the vault for 50 years, and we want everyone's memories captured in that vault. So your presence at the museum 150 days out will be a memory in and of itself that we'll put in there, but if you bring a memento with you, we'll also take a picture of you with that memento. But we have an incredible lineup of events all day long, from family events for kids to fun happy hour, to fashion, everything in between, everything that makes Louisville and Derby really special and puts a spotlight on this city. So we really encourage every single one of you, all of your districts, to come and enjoy the day, and the countdown really is on. The race is on, so we're very excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I hope that you all will celebrate the next 156 days with us and come to that event at 5:30. I'll be in the Fascinator Fashion Show, I believe. So it'll be a great day. And again, it's free admission to the Kentucky Derby Museum. So please come out if you haven't already and see the School District 15.
Councilman Hudson, I believe you have a special guest this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. In August of this year, a concerned citizen saw something that was not quite right and did the right thing by notifying LMPD. This initiated a series of events that would last for the next several months. Of course, I'm talking about the house on Applegate Lane, which, if that sounds like a horror movie, it is. It was a real-life horror movie. The owner of that house had been storing volatile and hazardous chemicals and making homemade explosives for years. The house was deemed to be extremely unsafe. The mayor directed Metro Louisville Emergency Services to develop a mitigation plan to make the site safe. Jody Neiman and Jessica Wethington, who we have here tonight, championed these efforts from beginning to end. They literally lived on site at the command post for weeks. Some of the other above and beyond extra duties as assigned were these. A severe storm right in the middle of the event blew over several oak-grove trees, one of which landed on an LMPD cruiser that was there to watch the house. Urban and Beyond and Louder Than Life stretched the resources of the organization to their limits. Jody and Jessica put together a plan to knock on every single door in a half-mile radius around that house in one evening and executed it flawlessly. So everyone in this room knows what knocking on doors is like. 1,000 in about 4 hours is pretty good. They conducted multiple community information meetings. This was a cool one. They had to invent a way to get automated communications to people that had only landlines. No cell phones, no computers. That's a tough one. They coordinated with LMPD, local fire, FBI, ATF, Kentucky EPA, United States EPA, and several other agencies. Several methods were explored to mitigate the danger. The most notorious was to conduct a controlled burn of the house and its contents. There were two driving principles throughout the operation: safety above all, and communication in a timely and transparent fashion. One of the consequences of transparency during a fluid and dynamic situation is that as the circumstances change, the communication messages have a tendency to get confusing. Jody and Jessica were very innovative and effective in keeping the messaging very clear. One message that remained consistent and clear from the beginning was that the mayor would not allow expediency to drive the plan. Safety was always first. With time removed as a constraint, Jody and Jessica were able to enlist additional resources and expertise to really push the technology envelope and develop a plan along with the US EPA to mechanically disassemble the house. The on-site representative from the US EPA said it best. This project led by Jody and Jessica was a case study in how federal, state, and local agencies should and can work together. It gives me great pleasure to present these Metro Council proclamations to you tonight. The wording is the same on both. The names changed, so I'm going to read Jessica's. Jessica Linton of Louisville Metro Emergency Services. Whereas in July 2023, the Louisville Metro Police Department executed a legal search warrant for properties on Applegate Lane. I need to put glasses on. Where they found explosives and other hazardous materials that pose a real and significant risk to public safety. And whereas one of the houses on Applegate Lane presented the city of Louisville with a challenge described by every subject matter expert as unique, extraordinarily complex, and requiring equally unique and complex innovative solutions. And whereas Louisville Metro Emergency Services expertly coordinated the efforts of multiple federal, state, and local agencies, and whereas Louisville Metro Emergency Services provided transparency at every step of the process by frequently and consistently communicating information at all levels, from mass media releases to individual face-to-face conversations. And whereas local Metro Emergency Services created a flexible and sustainable plan of action and executed the plan flawlessly, thereby eliminating the threat to public safety. And whereas local Metro Emergency Services was recognized by the United States Environmental Protection Agency as being the perfect example of how federal, state, and local agencies can and should work together. So be it hereby proclaimed that Louisville Metro Council recognizes Jessica Weddington for extraordinary excellence, superb leadership, effective communication, flawless execution, and going above and beyond in her dedication to service during this unique and challenging situation. Thank you so much.
I guess I'm it. That's doesn't want to speak. Thank you, Councilman Hudson. I mean, from the support that he had from day one. I mean, even the donuts that he would bring while we were on site many times, it was very helpful. So I have that support. And then Councilwoman Fowler too, because of, I had some miscommunication with you and we worked that out. But she's still dealing with some of the remnants of what's going on as well. But I heard flawlessly twice, and that's not in the dictionary of emergency management. So we like that. But no, this is truly a once in a lifetime, hopefully a once in a lifetime type of incident. And we really appreciate your all's continued support, especially during budget season. But it's a true partnership between emergency services and emergency management and all of you, because you never know when disaster is going to strike in your backyard. So we appreciate the continued support, and we appreciate this. It wasn't us. There was a whole lot of agencies, as Councilman Hudson said. There was a lot of agencies that had to deal with something that they never dealt with before, all the way going up to to some of the federal agencies. So this was actually deemed as one of the top 10 that some of the experts have seen, and this was the worst one that they described. So, like you said, it is becoming a case study. We've been asked to speak about it. But, it was a once in a lifetime, hopefully a once in a lifetime. We really appreciate this, and to all the help that the mayor's office, Mayor Greenberg himself, Deputy Mayor David James, who's with us today as well, the support that they did, because, going to tell somebody, hey, we need to burn this house in the middle of 3,100 people, it doesn't go very popular. We were very glad that we didn't have to do that. We were able to develop another plan, but that wasn't without the help of many, many people that were out there with us every day. So thank you very much.
Madam Clerk, are there any addresses to council?
Yes, sir, there are.
Let me remind those addressing council to please refrain from using any profanity or making derogatory statements to council members. Madam Clerk, please call the first speaker.
Anthony Morris.
Good evening, Metro Council. I am a client and advocate from Coalition for the Homeless, and my topic is making affordable housing accessible for all of our poorest and most vulnerable unhoused people and families from experience. My name is Anthony Morris, and I am from District 3. I became homeless at the age of 16 years old due to family dysfunction and substance abuse. Homelessness for me looked like sleeping on the streets and in shelters in various cities. From being put out of places, having to break into houses, sleeping on sidewalks, church porches, and hospitals, and jails because of trespassing on city property. So eventually I got tired of the revolving situational homelessness crisis and the substance abuse that led me to inquire about housing through the Cloud Project. I got a case manager through the Coalition for the Homeless and Family Health Center. I had to stay on the streets to show I was chronically homeless. I took the common assessment, but I had to wait a few months to get processed and was one of the first clients to be housed. I have been housed now for over 9 years, and I am so thankful. My case managers have been with me every step of the way, and they ensure me not only affordable housing, but a sense of stability, self-motivation, and a sense of home and mental stability through the given affordable housing programs. So with that being said, providing housing is a proven solution to homelessness in our city. It's a humane right, in my opinion. The data for our city shows that unhoused people would rather sleep in apartments or some form of affordable housing versus being on the street or in a shelter. The current case is that we just do not have enough affordable rental housing for our poorest and most vulnerable citizens. Louisville has some of the fastest growing rents in the country. Every time our median rent increases $100, we see a 9% increase in our homeless rate. Most shelters are overflooded and crowded with limited space almost every night. Hundreds of Louisvillians have no other choice but to sleep outdoors, and we, as a thriving city, must fix this crisis. Through the efforts our city is making tremendous progress. Metro Council has a track record of supporting housing for low-income folks. You have funded, the trust fund has passed the anti-displacement ordinance, but we need you to keep working to address this issue. Still more can be done with funding more affordable rental housing and mental health and substance abuse resources for our unhoused, most vulnerable citizens. So let's work together to meet our common goal, ending the homelessness crisis in the city, in the metro city of Louisville.
Dave Hanson. Mr. President, that concludes the address of the council.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of the council minutes for the regular meeting of November 9th, 2023. Are there any corrections or deletions? Hearing none, may I have a motion? Motion by Councilman Chiavettini, second by Councilman Sine. The minutes have been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. These minutes are approved as written. Next, we have approval of the following committee minutes, all in 2023. Regular Committee of the Whole, November 9th. Regular Labor and Economic Development Committee, November 14th. Regular Public Works Committee, November 14th. Regular Public Safety Committee, November 14th. Regular Equity, Community Affairs, Housing, Health, and Education Committee, November 15th. Regular Government Oversight, Audit, and Appointments Committee, November 15th. Regular Parks and Sustainability Committee, November 16th. Regular Budget and Appropriations Committee, November 16th. Regular Committee on Committees, November 28th. Are there any corrections or deletions? Hearing none, may I have a motion and second for approval? Motion by Councilman Sines, second by Councilman Owen. These minutes have been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. These minutes are approved as written. Madam Clerk, do we have any communications to the council?
Yes, sir, we do.
Please read those to the record.
Dear President Winkler, I am reappointing the following to the Zoo Foundation Board. Leo Battle, a reappointment term expires September 30th, 2026. Deborah King, a reappointment term expires October 17th, 2026. Patty Dale Todd, a reappointment term expires September 30th, 2026. This is to be read into the record. Metro Council approval of these appointments is not required. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Waste Management District 109 Board Ordinance, I am reappointing the following. Carl Brasling, a reappointment term expires June the 22nd, 2025. Your prompt action on this reappointment must appreciate sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Commission for Persons with Disability Ordinance, I am appointing and reappointing the following. John Miller, our new appointment term expires December the 12th, 2027. David Allgood, a reappointment term expires December 12th, 2027. Lauren Mounts, a reappointment term expires December the 12th, 2027. Leah Erkenbeck, a reappointment term expires December 12th, 2027. Destiny Etheridge, reappointment term expires December 12th, 2027. Your prompt action on these appointments and reappointments is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the ordinance, I am appointing the following to the Louisville Downtown Management District Board. Garth Williams, a new appointment term expires March 23rd, 2025. Your prompt action on this appointment is most appreciated. Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the ordinance, I am appointing the following to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board. Marilyn Harris, the Metro Representative, a reappointment term expires December the 31st, 2026. Your prompt action on this reappointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Police Merit Board Ordinance, I am appointing the following. LaGuardia Jenkins, a new appointment term expires June the 1st, 2027. Your prompt action on this appointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Criminal Justice Commission, I am appointing the following. Latanya McNeil, a new appointment term expires December 31st, 2025. Your prompt action on this appointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Extension Board Ordinance, I am appointing and reappointing the following. Kurt Mason, a reappointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Catherine Shea, a new appointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Simon Devine, a new appointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Your prompt action on these appointments and reappointments most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Housing Authority Board Ordinance, I am appointing the following to the board. Michelle Beck, a new appointment term expires August 15, 2025. Your prompt action on this appointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Planning Commission Ordinance, I'm appointing the following. Desmond Martin, a new appointment term expires October the 1st, 2026. Your prompt action on this appointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Library Advisory Commission Ordinance, I'm appointing and reappointing the following. Keith Runyon, a new reappointment term expires September the 30th, 2025. Cherry Garrett, a Garnett, new appointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Image Sewell, a new appointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Anita Hall, a new appointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Your prompt action on these appointments and reappointments must appreciate. Sincerely, Craig Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Human Relations Commission Advisory Board Ordinance, I am appointing the following. Shavonda Davis Stoner, a new appointment term expires September 30, 2025. Wayman Eddings, a new appointment term expires September 30, 2025. Your prompt action on these appointments is most appreciated. Sincerely, Mayor. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Human Rights Commission Enforcement Board Ordinance, I am appointing the following. Maurice. Oh my goodness. Craig Greenberg, Mayor. I got it. Dear President Winkler, in accordance with the Human Relations Commission Enforcement Board Ordinance, I am appointing the following. Maurice Swing, a new appointment term expires September 30th, 2025. Your prompt action on this appointment is most officious. Sincerely, Craig Freeman, Mayor, read in full. So sorry.
Thank you. Those appointments needing council approval will be forwarded to the Government Oversight Audit and Appointments Committee. Our next order of business is the consent calendar. The consent calendar comprises items 30 through 47. Are there any deletions or additions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a second reading of these items, please.
The following legislation was forwarded from the Budget and Appropriation Committee. Item 30, an ordinance amending ordinance number 115, series 2017, ordinance number 84, series 2022, and ordinance number 80, series 2023, related to fiscal years 2017 through 2018, 2022 through 2023, 2023 through 2024 capital budgets respectively by transferring the remaining $743,981.80 from the tax collection system project to various capital projects. Item 31, an ordinance appropriating $6,445 from District 11 Neighborhood Development Funds, the Office of Arts and Creative Industries for supplemental art instruction in Jefferson County Public Schools, elementary schools in District 11 provided by Funds for the Arts. Item 32, an ordinance of the Louisville, Jefferson County Metro Government, the Metro Government or the issuer, providing for and authorizing the issuance of certain general obligation bonds and notes of the Metro Government in one or more series to finance the cost of various public projects as described in Metro Government capital project budget, setting forth the terms and conditions on which the bonds and the notes are to be issued and providing for a competitive advertised sale thereof, defining and providing for the rights of the holders of the bonds and notes, and providing for the application of the proceeds therefore, and taking other related actions related to the issuance and sale of the bonds and notes. Item 33 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 079, series 2023, relating to fiscal year 2023-2024 operating budget for amending the language pertaining to the Office of Housing and Community Development. The following legislation was forwarded from the Committee on Committees. Item 34, a resolution approving the schedule of the regular meetings of the Legislative Council of the Louisville, Jefferson County Metro Government to council for the calendar year 2024. The following legislation was forwarded from Equity, Community Affairs, Housing, and Health and Education. Item 35, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept $100,000 of funding from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention through the Johns Hopkins MHOCS grant program to be administered by the Department of Public Health and Wellness. Item 36 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept $75,000 of funding from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention through the Johns Hopkins STD HIV grant program to be administered by the Department of Public Health and Wellness. Item 37 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept $8,000 of funding from the Kentucky Department of Public Health Office of Health Equity through the Harm Reduction Outreach Support Supplies Grant Program to be administered by the Department of Public Health and Wellness. The following legislation was forwarded from the Government Oversight Audit and Appointments Committee. Item 38, an appointment of Ronald Carmichael to the River Port Authority Board, term expires July 31st, 2025. Item 39, appointment of William Summers V to the River Port Authority Board, term expires July 31st, 2025. Item 40, the reappointment of Marissa Neal to the Air Pollution Control District Board, term expires June 30, 2026. Item 41, the appointment of Dr. Sajid Jamil to the Air Pollution Control Board, term expires December 31st, 2026. Item 42, appointment of Charlie Bell to the Air Pollution Control District Board, term expires June 30, 2026. Item 43, appointment of Jeff Parrish to the Greater Louisville Lodging Management District Board, term expires May 1st, 2025. The following legislation was forwarded from the Labor and Economic Development Committee. Item 44, resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation of the following non-competitively negotiated professional service contract for economic development concerning financial advice and counseling on complex financial arrangements, deal structures, and tax increment financing. Commonwealth Economics Partners LLC, $108,000. Item 45 is a resolution authorizing the mayor and the Department of Economic Development to request an economic development grant from the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority for the benefit of Stellar Snacks LLC in the amount of $2,250,000 and to accept said grant if awarded. The following legislation was forwarded from the Public Safety Committee. Item 46, a resolution approving the interlocal cooperation agreement among Louisville, Jefferson County Metro Alcohol Beverage Control, ABC, and the City of Middletown relating to the alcohol beverage control enforcement. Item 47 is a resolution pursuant to the capital operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation of the following non-competitively negotiated social contract for Metro Animal Services concerning a trap, neuter, and return program for community alley cat advocates, Inc., $70,000, ready for.
Thank you. May I have a motion? Second. By Councilman Piattini, second by Councilman Engel. The consent calendar has been properly moved and seconded. It requires a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please open the voting.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, you have 23 yes votes.
Thank you. The consent calendar passes. The next item of business is special legislation. Pursuant to Council Rule 7.01A, we'll need a 2/3 vote to consider this legislation as an emergency. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, may I have a motion and second to do Article 8? Motion by Councilman Piagentini, second by Councilman Baker. Is there any discussion? Councilman Hopkins.
Thank you. This case is no secret. There has been so many moving parts involved in this case. One, that it doesn't affect. I asked to take another look at it. 31,000 people trusted me to be their voice. It seems as if everybody else has been their voice but me. I asked that character says a lot about a person. I'm very passionate. I have no hidden agendas. I just truly fight for the people that put me here. So I ask for your support to take another look at this. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, so, and just so we understand, the first vote is to hear it as an emergency, the second vote will be to actually vote on the resolution. So, Madam Clerk, can you open or I guess I can do a voice vote. All those in favor of hearing it as an emergency, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Now the resolution is before us. Councilman Hawkins, any further discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, yes, I need a motion by Councilman Piagentini, second by Councilman Baker, notice by Councilman Hawkins. Any other discussion? This is a resolution, so we can do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Madam Clerk, a reading, well, that was, I'm sorry. That was item 48.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The next item of business is old business. The first item of old business, ordinance 242-23, has been requested to be reconsidered pursuant to Rule 5.12. May I have a motion and second? Motion. Motion by Councilman Piagentini, second by Councilman Baker. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 49.
An ordinance appropriating $14,250 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner: $7,000 from District 5, $2,000 from District 3, $1,000 from Districts 1, 7, and 21, $500 each from Districts 8, 9, and 17, and $250 each from Districts 4, 14, and 15. Through the Office of Management and Budget, 2-1 West Corporation hold a light and generation production cost for the Winter Wonderland event as amended, read in full.
Thank you. May I have a motion and second? All right. Motion. Yes, thank you. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Hawkins or Councilman Purvis, Councilman Blackwell? We need some discussion on the item, the reconsidered item.
So.
It came back for reconsideration as Councilwoman Hawkins wants to change her appropriation.
I'm just gonna move those funds over that were supposedly for the juice bowl instead of the Winter Wonderland.
And so do we need to, I think we need to make an amendment, right, to remove, so would you like to make an amendment to remove your?
I'm making an amendment to remove.
Second. Okay, probably motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The amended ordinance is before us. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. This ordinance requires a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
Yes. 7 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 yes. Mr. President, you have 23 yes votes.
Thank you. The amended ordinance passes. Madam Clerk, reading of item 50.
Appropriating $3,083 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner. $1,583 from District 4 and $500 each from Districts 8, 14, and 23, through the Office of Management and Budget to the Kentucky Chess Ambassadors, Inc. for Urban Chess Program as amended. Read before.
Thank you. I have a motion and second. Motion by Councilman Gattini, second by Councilman Rui. Is there any discussion? Councilman Blackwell?
Thank you, Mr. President. This was amended in committee. The requested amount was $4,750. The current amount is $3,083. So it's in old business because one, it was amended, and for the possibility of additional support, Councilman Arthur is the primary sponsor.
Councilman Rui?
Thank you. You all probably remember a few years ago, our former governor made some comments about being surprised that there was a chess club in the West End. This is that chess club. And they have been doing this work for years and years and years, and I'm proud to support them. They want to do workshops in South Louisville and in West Louisville. So any dollar you can get would support students being able to learn the art of chess. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman Gattini?
Thank you, District 19 for 250, please.
Councilwoman Curtis?
District 5, 250.
Councilman Reed?
Believe it or not, I was on the Wagner High School chess team. And I even have a Wagner High School chess letter. But I will guarantee you that anyone who's just beating out $500 versus 16.
500, sir.
Anybody else? Councilman Ackerson?
What's the balance here?
$667.
Okay.
That makes the new total.
The new total is $4,750.
Making a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Gattini, second by Councilman Engel. All in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The amended ordinance is now before us. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
Are you wrapping that? Are you wrapping that?
I beat the computer once.
Mr. President, you have 23 yes votes.
Thank you. The ordinance is adopted. Madam Clerk, reading of item 51.
Appropriating $18,000 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner. $600 each from Districts 12, 13, and 25 to Louisville Metro Police Department, 3rd Division for the 2023 Shop with a Cop program. Read it full.
Motion.
Make the motion by Councilman Gattini, second by Councilman Sahn. Is there any discussion? Councilman Blackwell?
Yes, this was heard committee and came here for an amendment. I think Councilwoman Fowler is going to be adding on tonight. Maybe I don't have to, yes, okay.
Theo.
You look surprised there, so that's, or maybe I missed one. But, all right, so Councilwoman Fowler is going to be adding on, I believe, at
Make sure you send that email to my wall.
Councilwoman Challenge and myself will add $200 more to ours, and that will bring it to $3,000, which was the request. All right.
Good.
So
So we're at the full amount, so probably moved by Councilman Flood. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you. Second by Councilman Hudson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The amended ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. It's an NDF allowing for a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The ordinance is adopted. Madam Clerk, reading of item 58-2.
Appropriating $750 from District 4 Neighborhood Development Funds to the Office of Management and Budget to the Local Independent Business Alliance, Inc. for the West Louisville Buy Local Block Party. Ready for?
And a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Gattini, second by Councilman Benson. Is there any discussion? Councilman Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. So this has come back before us and was added in the agenda tonight so that our newest Councilwoman Parrish Wright, could add on to this.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Fairchild?
No discussion, I wanna follow up, we have a lot in the queue and I wanna take care of it, thank you. Oh, we're adding $1,000 too.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Can I get a motion?
Motion, second.
Motion by Councilman Bianchini, second by Councilman Flood. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, the ayes have it. The amended ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the amended NDF, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The NDF is adopted. Item 53 has revoked, Councilman Baker has revoked his sponsorship, so that item no longer is with us. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 54.
An ordinance amending local code of ordinances LNCO chapter 119, registration of rental housing units, read in full.
Motion by Councilman Piantini, second by Councilman Blackwell. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Purvis.
I'm sorry, of course, my head was somewhere else. No, I'm gonna yield the floor to Councilman Blackwell, in case he wants to add some additional comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Purvis. Councilman Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. So this is the rental register mentioned earlier. So we're essentially just cleaning up some language that was suggested by the county attorney's office. We've had since the time that we put this in play. There's been some court cases that that would make some parts of our law probably challengeable, and so we're just cleaning up ahead of time. The main emphasis is on not having automatic triggers for internal inspections. So in our first version we had, if once you signed up for the registry, that was implied consent to have internal inspections. And the other was there were 2 or more exterior violations that would trigger internal inspections. And both of those have been questioned in other courts, and so we want to clean up this language for our own.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, this is an ordinance, requiring a, Councilman Benson, I believe you have, want to stay, you got something you want to say?
I'm abstaining, because I own the property. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, this is an item requiring a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please open the voting.
Mr. President, you have 22 yes votes and 1 abstention.
Thank you. The item is adopted. Colleagues, item 68 on new business was requested to be added after the final agenda deadline. Pursuant to Council Rule 5.12, the council may dispense with Council Rule 6.06 and allow for the acceptance of the late legislation with a 2/3 vote. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, may I have a motion and second to suspend Council Rule 6.0? Properly moved and seconded, moved by Councilman Sines, seconded by Councilwoman Fowler. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. The next item of business is item 56. On Tuesday, the Charging Committee filed with the Metro Council Clerk a complaint seeking the removal of Member Anthony Piagentini. Pursuant to council hearing rules and procedures, the clerk provided a copy of the full charging document to Councilman Piagentini and myself. Copies of the full charging complaint have been provided to each council member electronically, and the document is attached to the agenda. The full document contains the sections titled background and charges. The clerk will now read the charges section into the record.
Charges count 1, improperly soliciting or accepting promise of employment or other thing of value. Charging committee repeats and realleges the allegations above. Between November 2021 and December 2022, Piagentini solicited or accepted a thing of value or promise of future employment by seeking a consulting contract with the CEO Council during a time in which the CEO Council was actively seeking public funds through the Louisville Metro Council, a request over which Piagentini had authority to act in his official capacity as a Metro officer. By these actions, Piagentini solicited or accepted a promise of promise or thing of value, which was being offered for the purpose of or under circumstances for which it could reasonably be inferred that the promise or thing of value was being given or offered for the purpose of A, influencing him in the discharge of his official duties, and or B, gaining access to him as a Metro Council member. The Ethics Commission found Piagentini guilty of these allegations and recommended his removal. These actions constitute violations of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02C, and misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office for which Piagentini should be removed as a Metro Council member. Count 2, use of official position of secure unwarranted privileges or advantages. The charging committee repeats and alleges the allegations above. Between November 2021 and December 2022, Piagentini used his official position as a member of Metro Council to ultimately obtain employment with the CEO Council by acting in his official capacity to promote the grant funding request of the CEO Council to Metro government. By these actions, Piagentini obtained an unwarranted privilege or advantage for himself by use of his official position in violation of Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02A. The Ethics Commission found Piagentini guilty of these allegations and recommended his removal. These actions constitute violations of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02A, and misconduct, willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office to which Piagentini should be removed as a Metro Council member. At count 3, impairment or objectivity or independent judgment of as Metro officer, The charging committee repeats and alleges the allegations above. Between November 2021 and December 2022, Piagentini acted in his official capacity in a manner in which Piagentini had a financial interest or private interest that might reasonably be expected to impair his objectivity and independence of judgment. By these actions, Piagentini obtained an unwarranted privilege or advantage for himself by use of his official position in violation of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02B. The Ethics Commission found Piagentini guilty of these allegations and recommended his removal. These actions constitute violations of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02B, and misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office for which he should be removed as a Metro Council member. Count 4, failure to disqualify from a matter pending before Metro Council in which Piagentini had a private or financial interest. The charging committee repeats and alleges the allegations above. Between November 2021 and January 2023, Piagentini failed to disqualify himself from participation in official acts, including debates, votes, communications, and proceedings involving the grant request of the CEO Council while the request was pending before the Metro Council, and during a time that Piagentini had a financial or private interest in the decisions of the CEO Council. Moreover, Piagentini had a financial or private interest in his wholly owned company, ABP Consulting, through which he entered into a $240,000 consulting contract with the CEO Council. By these actions, Piagentini violated Metro Ethics Code, section 21.03F. The Ethics Commission found Piagentini guilty of these allegations and recommended his removal. These actions constitute violations of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.03F, and misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office for which he should be removed as a Metro Council member. Count 4, failure to disclose a financial or private interest in a matter pending before Metro Council. The charging committee repeats and re-alleges the allegations above. Between November 2021 and December 2022, Piagentini failed to properly disclose to Metro Council his agreement to begin work as a contractor for the CEO Council. While the CEO Council was seeking approximately $40 million in public funds from Louisville Metro government, a request over which Piagentini had authority to act in his official capacity as a Metro officer. By these actions, Piagentini has violated Metro Ethics Code, section 21.03F, in failing to disclose on the records of Metro Council his financial or private interest in a matter pending before Metro Council. The Ethics Commission found Piagentini guilty of these allegations and recommended his removal. These actions constitute violations of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02F, and misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of his duty of his office for which he should be removed as Metro Council member. Count 6, use of official position to obtain unwarranted privileges or advantages. Conference attendance value between $199 and $499. The charging committee repeats and alleges the allegations above. Between September 1, 2022 and September 22, 2022, Piagentini accepted admission to a private conference value between $199 and $499, which admission was paid for by the CEO Council at a time the latter was seeking and receiving his active assistance, promotion, and official actions in obtaining a grant of public funds from Metro government, a decision over which Piagentini held authority as a Metro officer. By these actions, Piagentini thereby obtained an unwarranted privilege or advantage for himself by use of his official position in violation of section 21.02A. The Ethics Commission found Piagentini guilty of these allegations. These actions constitute violations of the Metro Ethics Code, section 21.02A, and misconduct of willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office, for which he should be removed as a Metro Council member. Count 7 is the misconduct by failing to disclose. The charging committee repeats and alleges the allegations above. From, in, or about November 2021 to December 2022, Piagentini pursued and solicited a consulting contract with the CEO Council. At the same time, he was considering, then advocating, that the CEO Council and its fellow grantees receive a $40 million grant from the Metro Council. The day before the grant was approved, he accepted a $240,000 consulting contract with the CEO Council. Piagentini willfully failed to disclose the information above to his constituents and fellow council members of the council. These actions constitute a violation of his duty to provide honest services in his official position. These actions further constitute misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office, for which he should be removed as a Metro Council member. Count 8 is misconduct by perjury. The charging committee repeats and alleges the allegations above. On August 22nd and August 23rd, 2023, Piagentini testified in the Ethics Commission, to the Ethics Commission under oath. He testified that a wall had been erected at the CEO Council so that he would not work on any matters related to the $40 million grant awarded to the Metro Council, awarded by the Metro Council, and that he, quote unquote, didn't engage with the groups executing the grant, and that, quote, I am executing any part of that, unquote, end quote. In fact, he had participated in 2 meetings in Louisville, or in January 2023, with the Louisville Metro Administration regarding the grant on behalf of the CEO Council. He further testified that when he received an email from Day with a non-disclosure agreement on November 17, 2022, he had no idea what the reason for the non-disclosure agreement might be, stating that it, quote, it was unclear to me 100% that what it could have been, end quote. In fact, he well knew the reason for receiving the NDA was the consulting arrangement he had discussed in prior occasions with Danny. These statements were false material and known by Piagentini to be false when he made them. Piagentini's actions constitute perjury in the first degree under Kentucky state law in violation of KRS section 523.020. These actions further constitute misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office, for which he should be removed as a Metro Council member. Read in full.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilmember Piagentini, would you like the floor at this time?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Dear colleagues, at this time, I will not address the details of the charges against me. All I will say is that with respect to charges 1 through 6, I would encourage everyone to read the findings of fact and conclusions of law that I filed with the Ethics Commission and my filings with the Circuit Court. What you will see is that the charging document continues to ignore undisputed facts on the record to build a partisan narrative. I do want to briefly address another layer in this ongoing partisan, unprecedented, and increasingly legally bankrupt process. First is the completely partisan charging committee, a first in Metro Council history. Second is the hiring of the complainant's attorney to represent the charging commission instead of an independent attorney. Again, this is the first time this has happened in Metro Council history. And finally, in this charging document, we see an egregious and unconstitutional addition of criminal charges instead of only sticking to the ethics allegations. These additions are completely beyond the legal purview of this committee or this council, and even bringing them in this process would deprive me of multiple constitutional rights. Once again, we see that this is a partisan process, void of any consideration of legal process, and I will not stand for it. I have no problem defending myself against alleged violations of the ethics code. I will not stand for this illegal and unprecedented action of criminal charges, addition of criminal charges, and I think this only continues to prove how biased and legally bankrupt the charging committee is. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Piattini. The next item of business is new business. As you leave the chambers, please do so quietly so the clerk may read new business. I would ask those council members that wish to make announcements, please remain in the chambers and request to speak on your system under announcements. New business comprises items 57 through 78. Will the clerk please read those items and their assignments to the committee?
The following legislation was assigned to Budget and Appropriations Committee. Item 57. An ordinance amending ordinance number 79, series 2023, and ordinance number 80, series 2023, relating to the fiscal year 2023 through 2024, operating.
I just want to give a little bit of my testimony about.
Hello, my name is Mariam Muhammad, and I am the owner and director of Youth Outreach Intervention Center. We are located at 1169 Eastern Parkway, Suite 210, Louisville, Kentucky, 40217. Please call us at 502-224-6750 to schedule your confidential appointment today.
Si no haces nada más,
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 si no haces nada más, mantente vivo.